12-year-old Tim sat on a wooden bench near his small, weather-worn house. He fiddled with a stick, carving shapes into the dirt, his face scrunched in frustration. "I don't get it, Grandpa," he sighed, looking up at the old man who leaned on his cane nearby. "Why do we always struggle while others have so much?" Grandpa Henry chuckled, his eyes twinkling with wisdom. "Tim, wealth isn't just about money. It's about how you think. That's where it begins." Tim frowned. "Think like I'm rich? How can thinking change anything? We still don't have enough food on the table." Grandpa bent down and handed Tim a small, polished rock from his pocket. "This stone is worthless in most eyes, but imagine it's a treasure. If you treat it like gold, you'll start finding ways to make it valuable. Wealth starts in your mind." Tim looked at the rock skeptically, but pocketed it. "All right, Grandpa. I'll think about it." The next morning, Tim wandered into the bustling village market, his treasure in hand. He noticed a baker, Mr. Oliver, struggling to stack bread on his display. "Need help, sir?" Tim offered. Mr. Oliver looked surprised but nodded. "Sure, boy. Be careful with the loaves." As Tim worked, he struck up a conversation. "Mr. Oliver, what makes your bread sell so well?" "It's not just the taste," Mr. Oliver replied. "It's the story. My bread reminds people of home. A good story makes anything valuable." Tim pondered this as he finished stacking the bread. Mr. Oliver handed him a loaf as thanks. "Remember, lad," Mr. Oliver said, "value is created, not found." Tim returned home, the baker's words swirling in his head. He examined the rock Grandpa had given him. "What if I make it more valuable?" he muttered. Tim painted the rock with bright colors and etched small designs into its surface. By evening, it looked like a vibrant charm. The next day, he returned to the market, showing the rock to passersby. "Look at this lucky charm," he called out. "It's one of a kind, bringing fortune to its owner." At first, people chuckled, but one woman stopped. "How much?" she asked. Tim blinked. "5 coins?" To his amazement, she paid and walked off with the charm. Excited, Tim ran to Grandpa Henry, holding the coins. "Grandpa, it worked. I made money from that rock." Grandpa smiled. "Good, but don't stop there. What's the lesson?" Tim thought for a moment. "I took something simple and made it valuable by changing how people saw it. I can do this with other things too." Grandpa nodded. "Exactly, Tim. You've learned that wealth is about perspective and effort.